I was 19 years old back then. During my summer break, I worked as a camp counsellor at a massive campground in Australia. My job was to look after the kids across 3 two-week sessions. Around the middle of summer, when that 6-week stint was almost nearing its end, I was mentally beyond exhausted. But according to the camp rules, I had to finish off that final session. The incident happened on one night during the very last week. Our camp was located deep inside a huge, dense forest. At around 9 p.m, a young boy from our group named Todd felt sick, so I went and put him to sleep in his cabin. The corridor of our cabin was quite dark. The moment I stepped out of the cabin, in the dim light of the lantern, I saw a little girl of about 8 or 9 years old standing right in front of the door. My very first thought was, why is this girl here all alone so late at night? According to camp rules, no child was supposed to wander around alone outside their group. I walked up to her and asked, "Which group are you in? What are you doing here this late at night?" The girl just kept staring at me without saying a word. Her eyes seemed filled with a strange, empty void. I asked for her name again. She whispered, "Willa." I figured maybe she was a new kid I hadn't met yet. I wanted to take her towards our front office so they could send her to her respective cabin from there. But whenever I asked her to take my hand, without making any fuss, she just started walking alongside me. While taking her towards the main gate of the camp, I had her sit down in front of a cabin while I went to fetch help. Returning just 2 minutes later, I saw that Willa wasn't there anymore. If you are still listening, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. The next part of the story holds an even deeper mystery. I started searching for her across the entire camp. Suddenly, a faint cry drifted out from inside the woods. Without delaying a moment, I switched on my torch and headed deep into the bush. After calling out for a bit, I spotted Willa under a tree in the forest. She was standing there, staring straight at me. I called her over, but she turned around in a strange manner and began to run. I took off after her. She went deep into the heart of the bushland. I noticed a strange dim red light flashing on and off behind the cover of the bushes. The girl ran towards that red light and vanished into some hole or cover beneath the ground. At that exact millisecond, a massive dark silhouette stepped out from the other side of the bushes. The outline was that of a fully grown adult male. He was crouching down and coming right towards me. In a single moment, the entire maze inside my head cleared up. Willa wasn't a lost child at all. She was bait. I realized that some human beast had laid this trap for me deep inside the dark forest. Without wasting another fraction of a second, I spun around and bolted in the opposite direction. Behind me, I could hear the heavy thud of work boots and someone's heavy breathing. I ran straight to the main office and laid out everything to the coordinator. That very night, the security team went out and combed through the entire area, but not a single soul was found. Later, during the police investigation, it came to light that some local criminals had targeted this camp, taken advantage of the helplessness of young children to lure adults into traps. If I had ventured any further into the woods that night, perhaps my very existence wouldn't be here today. Even now, whenever I go near a forest at night, that dim red glow flashes right back before my eyes.
Back when I was at university, I used to take up a job as a night security guard during the summer break at a natural park located in a mountainous region. The job was lonely, sitting inside a small cabin at the base of a massive mountain, monitoring the entire area. The incident occurred towards the end of September, when the surroundings were blanketed in intense cold and heavy fog. The clock had just struck 12 a.m. I was sipping coffee inside my cabin when suddenly I heard the sound of crying near the main gate outside. Hearing the sound, It felt as if a 10-year-old boy was sitting on the other side of the gate, weeping. At first, I thought maybe some tourist had taken a wrong turn on this pitch-black road. I grabbed my heavy-duty torchlight and headed outside. The fog was so thick that you couldn't even see 5 feet ahead. I walked up to the gate and asked, "Who's out there? Are you lost?" The crying sound grew even intense. "Please help me. I can't find my mum and dad." I unlocked the gate and stepped outside, but the moment the gate swung open, that weeping sound started sounding strangely mechanical and unnatural. It felt like someone was playing a recorded audio track. I swept my torch around, thoroughly searching the area. Right to the right side of the gate, behind an old bush, I saw a large, dark figure moving. The moment I flashed my beam over, I saw a large bloke crouching over a laptop or some device from which the sound of a child crying was playing out. If you're still listening, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. The next part of the story holds an even deeper mystery. The moment the bloke spotted me, he scrambled straight to his feet. In his hand, he held a massive knife. I realised just how calculated their plan was. They were recording the sound of a child crying and using it as bait in isolated places at night to draw people out. Without saying another word, I turned and took off. The bloke shouted out to his mate, "Catch him!" I knew these mountain paths like the back of my hand. Taking advantage of the pitch darkness, I took a shortcut path and sprinted straight back towards my cabin. Behind me, the sound of 2 pairs of feet was rapidly gaining on me. I somehow squeezed into the cabin, locked it from the inside, and fired off a message to headquarters using my radio set. Looking out through the gap in the cabin window, I saw those 2 blokes standing right outside my door, kicking heavily against it. They spent half an hour trying to flush me outside, but I kept screaming into the radio, pleading for help. Finally, hearing the distant sound of police sirens and a chopper, they scrambled down the mountain slope and fled into the dark. The next morning, police recovered an audio player and several sharp weapons from that exact spot. This was no supernatural event. It was a horrifying hunter's trap engineered entirely by human hands. That night taught me one thing above all. No matter how normal or pitiful it sounds, if you hear a child crying in the dead of night, you should never step out of your safe haven. Those hunters wearing human masks are capable of anything. Friends, how did you like these 2 bone-chilling psychological thriller stories from the dead of night? Have you been able to sense how terrifying human beings can become when they disguise themselves behind the cries of a helpless child? Have you ever faced a terrifying situation in your life where you felt someone was setting a trap for you? You must let us know your experiences and opinions in the comments below. Don't forget to share the video with your mates if you liked it. Thank you all so much for watching until the end. Inshallah, we'll see you again in the next mystery. Stay with us by subscribing.